Hello, you are once welcome to Google Production. This is a site visit, and we are on the site. You can see the slope nature of the area. So sometimes in engineering, it's about solving problems. It's not about all having buildings, nice building. No, the design may be there, but how to fix it? Because rocky areas like this, we have embalmed vibrations, little earthquake within. So when considering, we consider all into the structures. And based on that, you can't have a fixed estimate for structure work because you can see the nature of it. Even feeling may take part, you know, raising the structure up to a certain height that you may attain your levels. It's another cost. So all structures may be the same but cannot have the same cost at the same time. Even struggling to bring materials to the area even is so sometimes it's not easy. It's not easy. We don't have to go much about it. But looking at the structures, sometimes what even may indicate in the drawing, they are provisional. But when working with it, you could realize something. Even by touching the soil, you may know it's a different soil altogether where you have to make an adjustment. So you should bear with me when you had an adjustment. You should expect surprises sometimes because all that is being given based on what I saw, but the reality is on the ground. So at the end of the day, the height, the area, what you see, the soil test may determine actually what to be done. So sometimes we always say the building itself communicate with you, tell you what to do. I want this, like your daughter. I want this. I need this to be able to survive. I need this for my learning. That is a process in which the building sometimes take us through. So you must bear with us when you have an estimate, though it is an estimate, but the ground itself tells actual state of what you may be having. Thank you very much.
Yes. Hello. Hi. We are on a site visit and we are checking the topography of the land, how beautiful the view is. That will influence the designing. When we're speaking of architecture, everything comes involved. Trees around us, buildings around us, even the view comes inclusive. So, on saying this land, it would influence the design process, what the client wants, how it's going to come up to. If you turn to your right, you can see our client's land and you can see the beautiful view of Accra from top here. That's great. So as you can see, what I can see here, um, we are coming up with a design of a 4-bedroom apartment and a 3-bedroom apartment for a client in Brekusu Hills. We are in Brekusu, if I didn't mention it earlier. This is close to Ashasi University, and we are here to visit, see how exactly we can come up with design for a 6 plot of land, which is also having a moderate slope of land and more of a little bit of a steep but bowed. Coming to the designs, the topography of the land will influence whether we can have a basement or a flat land. As the QS has said, the quantity surveyor has said already, normally we do flat land. So whatever that we do, design on are on flat lands. But once you have a land like this, it influences where your levels are, how the gradients of your buildings are, and then the steps in which you are designing, how you maintain your green, that you don't distract nature. Mind you, nature is very strong. If you also look to my left, you can see how nature is. It is good to consult before building, as we are doing now. We advise on designs, we advise on what exactly you would want, then we advise you on what is also the reality ground. You can come in with your expectations, but on site will determine what you can get. Thank you.
Okay, this is Pele. You can see the face now. Pele Gigog Production Group. I'm the estimator or the quantity surveyor, simply put. So when you come with your drawing, you have to pay a fee. Sometimes it's only advice you want. I've seen that a lot of people want to compare with what they have already. So to get that, at least you have to pay a fee for it. When you are coming from the foundation, it comes with its own fee. When you want the structure, it has your own fee, depending on single structure, 2-story, 3-story, depending on what you are coming in with, then depending on the price we are charging you for it. So if you want to the finishing tour, that one too, because the reason why we don't usually like to add the finishing aspect of it is we always give you the structure. So after the structure, you will determine, maybe I want to use plasterboard for the ceiling, I want to use POP, the tiles, maybe I want this spec, I want Chinese tiles, I want Spanish or Italian tiles. Those things all will determine the price of the finishing. So most of the time, the estimate we do is based on the structural work from foundation to the roofing level. That one there, we can give you that one. But for the finishing, when we reach there, then maybe we can give you that one. Okay, we just want to take this opportunity of visiting the site to explain one or two issues to our audience. You see, sometimes when you come for an estimate, we tell you we want to go to the site. These are some of the reasons. You look at the slope of the land. It can determine your foundation depending on the structure, the type of structure you are putting here, and the cost involved. So this will be different from you getting a flat land. So all the estimates we do is based on flat land. So assuming you did your estimate on a flat land and you come and you have something like this, then it's going to affect your foundation. You see, sometimes even excavation, you look at the rocky area, the rocky nature of the area, it will cost you a lot than you being on a flat land. So when you come and we tell you two different 2-bedroom self-contained are not the same, you should understand that it may have the same specs, but depending on what you meet on site will determine the price of the building. So when you come and you bring your 3D, even sometimes even your structure, and maybe the how do you call it, the architect was not on site before doing the structural work. When we come on site, it has to affect your bill depending on how you meet the land at the site. So these are the few things we want to explain to our audience for them to bear with us when we tell them we want to visit sites and look at the nature of the land before we give them an estimate. They should bear with us and understand the reasons behind. These are some of the reasons behind those things. You see, so when you come for an estimate or you want us to advise you on certain things, it's not free. So as you are coming, you should be prepared that you pay a fee or a token for us to give you the advice or give you the estimate. You see, nothing is free. Visiting site like this, if you look at what we went through before getting to this site, even if we charge you 2,000 Ghana cedis, it's a chicken fee. It's not anything. You see, so you should bear with us when we ask you to do something or pay a fee for us to do certain works for you. You should understand it for us. Ah, okay. You see, looking at one thing too is about the time difference. You know, in Ghana here, we work throughout the day from morning to evening. So sometimes someone may call you 9, 10, 11. It doesn't help us because that time we are spending time with our family. Sometimes we are asleep before those calls will come. So if you do it in a message form, you text us, you WhatsApp us, we wake up, then we see them, maybe you give you a response based on the message you sent us. So those are the small things or few challenges that I want to put across. Basically, those are the few things. And you should know what you want before you come to us sometimes. You see, sometimes you know as you are engaging the person, then you know the person does not even understand what he wants. It's always good to know what you want so that we will be straightforward with each other. Someone may come with an architectural drawing and you want an estimate for it. You see, the architecture alone cannot help you to know what is on the foot because the structures will determine the number of iron rods, bars, the sentences you have to put inside. So if you come with the architectural drawing, it doesn't have those specs or those details. Sometimes too, people may come with the 3D. The 3D may look beautiful, but practically, maybe it will not work. So we will advise you, this is your 3D, maybe looking at how the span is. If you want to put it that way, it won't help you. Then we advise you based on those things. So you should come prepared. You should have your structures ready. You should have your architectural drawings ready. Then your 3D so that we can compare the three and know what we are doing for you. You see. Ah. So as we come to this side, for instance, look at the distance. There's no way you can get a sleeping place here. So in our estimate, sometimes we provide temporary store and shed for the workers. So those small fee you see there is what we use in building a temporary structure to accommodate the workers and to work. You see, it's a bare land. If, for instance, the steel benders want to bend the iron, they can't be standing in the sun. Standing at one place in the sun, if you are moving, is okay, but at least you provide some shade for the workers to stand under it, or when they go to break, they want to eat. You have to provide those things and maybe uh, latrine and those things. Those things are all involved in the temporary shed figure that we put there. So when you come and you see that temporary shed, thinking that it should come from the contractor's money, it's not fair because well, it depends on where we are working and if they can commute every day and go to the site and come, that one is different. But a place like this, you can't commute from your house up and down every day. So at least you get a temporary shed for the workers. They can sleep after work. Then maybe weekend they can go home. They also serve as security as they are on the site and your materials are there. They also serve as security for you. Uh-huh. Okay, one thing too that affects estimate is the area and because sometimes the material price, roughly, let's take cement for instance. If you are buying cement from Tema and somebody is buying from Insaom or Kumasi, the distance determine the price of the cement or the commodity that you are buying. So when we are doing estimates, sometimes we try to call those areas to verify the prices and check before we do the estimate. So it's not like we have the figures there already or something that we just conjure and put it there. No, we have to go through the process of calling, sometimes visiting the market to ask for the prices of material before we do it. So we give you based on current price. Sometimes we give the estimate maybe a week or a day later, they increase or reduce. It doesn't mean we didn't do our work. We did our work very well. But depending, Ghana here, prices keep on changing every day. So it depends on the area. and and the environment or the topography of the land. Those things all determine the price of your estimate or the total summation of the estimate.
Hello, good day. My name is Queen. Welcome back to our channel. We are the new site. This is a new site. We are about to start work. I just want you guys to know what goes on when you get to a new site. Like the way the site is an isolated place. There is no place to sleep, nothing around, nothing to buy, nothing to eat. So as a supervisor for the workers, make sure that there is water, there is food, and sometimes all those things are not in the cost of your materials or any other cost, but we make sure they get what they want. For example, when a worker says, I'm going to the bush to ease myself or to defecate, if you allow the worker to go, the worker can go and spend about 2 to 3 hours, and moreover, he coming back to work, you have to pay him at the end of the work. But we make sure they get good place to sleep. Like this place, there's nowhere to buy water. We have to go to the township to buy water, to get them food, and nowhere for any storage. So we have to get a security, or we have to build a small tent or a storeroom for the materials, for the workers, the laborers, where they are going to sleep. We need them to feel comfortable, because if they don't feel comfortable, the work will not go on. You see, it's not about them working that maybe they are alcoholic, working. No. When they are satisfied, when they are satisfied, they can work. When they get what they want, they can work. For instance, just imagine I have about 20 workers. The more they work, the more they drink water. So there's more water to be bought, more water to be brought in for them, more food. Like the materials for them should be put aside for them. We are not saying you guys should pay for it, but we want you to know what we go through at site when we come in. If you look around, there is no houses around. The place is an isolated place. So, as I said before, as a supervisor for the workers, we need all those things so that our workers will feel comfortable and work for us. One thing again is when the workers are coming to site and they are done eating, they've eaten already coming to the site. When they come and the work starts, you the food they've eaten from the house coming to the work site will not sustain them, because with the sun scorching on them, the work the work going on, they need more food. And if they start going to the township to get food, the work cannot go on. Imagine someone saying, I'm going to the township to get food. See how the place is isolated. He has to take a motorbike to the township, go and spend 1, 2, 3 hours coming back. It's bad, you see. So I'm here to support them by buying my own fuel, driving to the township, getting them food, water, bringing it to them so that the work can do. One thing you have to know is when any worker comes to the site to work, as you have seen the worker at site, that means if he doesn't work or not, he needs to be paid, because he has left his house coming to the site. So if you call him, oh, today there is work going on, you have to come, and he comes, and maybe the materials or machines you have to work with, it's not ready, he stays, he will sit and wait for it. So imagine you working for 2 hours, he will not take 2 hours pay, he has to take the full pay. So what I'm trying to say is, it's the little money we get from the laborers laborers that helps us, the little, and we also add some to it to help the workers so that the work can go on well.
So that was Queen for you, our supervisor here at Gigo Production Group, with the other team members, Engineer Sami, Nathan, our architect, and Pele, who is our quantity surveyor. So, if it's your first time here on the channel, my name is Gigo, and this is a site that we went for visit, right? We went for a site visit for one of our potential client who has 6 plots, at Brekusu. That is a location. We are in a between the let me say between the Greater Accra and Eastern region, right? So it's in between there. This is Brekusu. The plot is just behind the Ashasi University, right? So that's where the location is. More details of this project will be coming up soon. The owner is looking at building some luxurious structures here with projection, entertainment areas. Some houses will be going for sale, some for rentals. So watch out for that. I'll be bringing you the update of this particular project. It's a massive project, right? It's 1.5 acre, which is the 6 plot, right? So today's video was just, for you to know some of the challenges that we go through, and also more importantly, things you have to consider before you start with your structure, right? So that's why the whole team has to be there, the engineer has to be there, the Nathan has to be there, the architect, and also the quantity surveyor, including the supervisor who supervise the guys who are working, right? So that we come together as a team and get things done, right? So this is just the introduction. My next episode, I'll come up with more details about what is happening and what we are doing. So please stay tuned, for the next episode. So then I think this brings us to the end of today's episode. I really do appreciate your time spent here on the channel. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next episode. Let's get to it.